Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, excited to be with you and share this news with you. Nobody's on yet because I hit the wrong button. I was supposed to upload a thumbnail and I hit the go live button. So here I am all by myself, but I'm sure some people will join in quickly. By the way, if you're watching this on replay afterwards and you're watching lives, just so you know, the first couple minutes of a live are typically welcoming people on and that type of thing. People are like, just get to the news. You get to the news when you've actually got people to get to the news with. So anyways, smash that like as you come in. Please chat in with where you're from. And if you're watching this on replay, just skip ahead a couple minutes. Okay? That'll make it easy for you. So anyways, but this is a big deal because the U.S. Appeals Court ruled on something with Trump today, and it was involving a gag order. Brisbane, Australia is on. Welcome, Aussies. Come join the fun here on Lumberjack Logic Live. All right, and while we're waiting for people to join in, look, 150 of you are on. That's awesome. You can go get some MyPillow product at mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings. They come all wrapped up in a bow, but you know what? My favorite products are actually the Giza sheets and the travel pillows. I love the travel pillows. I take them with me wherever I go. I take them on my elk hunting trips. It's awesome. We've got Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Ontario, Canada, Australia again. We've got some glitching going on, huh? Maybe it's just on your end because everybody else seems to be fine right now. South Carolina, New Mexico, and Tennessee. Welcome aboard. So we are going finally to the Supreme Court. This is dealing with Trump. I can already tell you where this is going. By the way, we'll be going to the Supreme Court on the Colorado case no matter what comes down as a ruling out there, because if the left wins, if these crazy unhinged lunatics win, they're going to take that to the Supreme Court. And or not, they'll take it. Donald Trump will obviously, the ACLJ, American, Center for Law and Justice, whatever, whose party and joined, those attorneys will then file and bring that to the Supreme Court. On the flip side, if Trump wins, the left is going to bring it to the Supreme Court and so on. But this one is dealing with the gag order in the 2020 election case in D.C. This is dealing with Jack Smith. So a U.S. appeals court, this out of Reuters, a U.S. appeals court on Friday narrowed but largely upheld a gag order that bars Donald Trump from assailing prosecutors, court staff, and potential witnesses in a federal criminal case that accuses him of illegally trying to overturn 2020, so on. Okay, a 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit kept most of the restrictions imposed by the original gag order, but did lift the prohibition on Trump personally criticizing special counsel Jack Smith, who is overseeing the prosecution. It would be hard not to. Come on, seriously, criticize Jack Smith? That's fair game. But the rest of it was fair game too. You know, these judges are biased and they're obviously opposed to Trump. The court also narrowed the limits on what Trump can say about witnesses in the case, barring only comments about their involvement in the investigation and their potential testimony at trial. This is all election interference. Hey, look at that. Lady Trucker. Good night. $20. Thank you. Gosh, Merry Christmas to you too, Lady Trucker. That's huge, from Denver. All right, so we still don't have the ruling on the Colorado. This is dealing with D.C. Colorado should come down pretty soon. In fact, I can't believe we didn't get that ruling yet today, but that one hasn't come in. We agree with the district court that some aspects of Mr. Trump's public statements pose a significant and imminent threat to the fair and orderly adjudication of the ongoing criminal proceeding, Judge Patricia Milley wrote in the order. But the court found that the gag order sweeps in more protected speech than is necessary. Actually, it's just not necessary, okay? But the court found that the initial gag order sweeps, Trump challenged the order as infringement on his right to free speech under the U.S. Constitution. Now, what I want you to understand about this and think about here, so I had Liz Collin on my show today, and if you guys did not catch that live, do yourself a favor, go back and watch it. Yeah, it's 40 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but she is the producer of the Fall of Minneapolis movie. And we got into so many things and dealing with the officers and the aftermath really is what I wanted to get in. Minneapolis Police Department is a wreck. And you have to understand that they were able to broadcast whatever they wanted to the media during that case, and that there was no way to get a possible fair trial a fair verdict at that trial for Derek Chauvin, who's now been stabbed 22 times in prison, because it was out there in the media. It was a media circus. And the same thing, people, the exact same thing is with this, okay? You know, these judges are taking in a litany of leftist news every night, and it is affecting their thinking. They're not fair and impartial, okay? Most of them are appointed by, you know, Tanya Chutkin is a Obama-appointed judge. Okay, so while placing some limits on Trump, U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkin's gag order allowed him to keep up his drumbeat of accusations against the Justice Department, which he accuses of trying to harm him politically, which they are. I mean, it's an election interference case. Smash that like if you would. Okay, Trump has called Smith a deranged lunatic and a thug, among other insults. The appeals court found that Smith is no more entitled to protection from lawful public criticism than the Justice Department as a whole. Well, praise God they could actually figure that out. But I will guarantee you that this will now go to the Supreme Court, because you don't think Trump's attorneys are going to appeal this? We're finally going to get to go to the Supreme Court, the law of the land, okay? You know, and he can get out of this leftist hack DC court mess, which is just, I don't care if you get a jury or a judge in D.C., it seems like they're all whacked out. I mean, does that make sense to you people? I mean, do you see this? Chutkin, who is overseeing the case, imposed the gag order on October 16th after she found that Trump's statements on social media and at campaign rallies could influence witnesses and lead to threats against people involved in the case. This is a common line of the left right now. Everything is about a threat on their public safety. It's a threat. It's a threat. Nobody on the face of God's green earth has faced more threats than Donald Trump. Okay, and I'm not talking just by the justice system. You don't think that guy receives death threats all the time? These people are deranged lunatics, man. It's a mental disease, a mental disorder. We got somebody on from North Idaho. Good to see you on. Smash that like if you would. Smith's indictment accuses Trump and his allies of promoting false claims that the election was rigged, pressuring officials to alter voting results and assembling fake slates of electors to prevent Congress from certifying Biden's victory. By the way, it's happening again in New Mexico. They are trying to process the fake electors. By the way, they're not fake electors, okay? They are an alternate slate of electors. That's what it is. They've been there since time immemorial. This is nothing new. You know, the fact that they're in this year. I mean, shoot, the Democrats were doing it in recent history, but there's alternate slates of electors are not unusual, okay? St. Germain, Wisconsin. That's awesome, Larry. St. Germain is beautiful, people. If you've never been to St. Germain, it's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, Trump faces a separate gag order in a civil fraud case in New York, barring him from commenting on court staff. He is appealing that order. They are just trying to tie him up in court for time immemorial, people. That's what's going on here. And so finally, though, it is going to be appealed. You're finally going to see potentially a different ruling on these matters. And I love it. Annette just said, if he loses, we lose. And that's what they want, but he's not going to lose. I honestly have a good feeling about this. All this, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. It really did have to be this way. And I used to just get so ticked off when people would say that. But let's face it. I mean, what, if this hadn't occurred, if you guys, people, and I know some people are going to like, no, Neil, I knew it was that bad all along. Everybody's always got to do that. And I get tired of that. But the fact of the matter is, most people did not know just how bad it was. They didn't know just how badly the courts were stacked. They didn't know these types of things. And now we do, okay? And it's imperative that we know this stuff. And, you know, I just had to upload a better thumbnail for folks. But now we do know. By the way, if you didn't catch my video today on Ronna Romney McDaniel, she has agreed to host, to have CNN host 2 more presidential debates because we haven't seen enough of them. We all know that for the Republican primaries, these debates are a waste of time at this point, okay? Trump's up 60 points. Seriously. Do we really think that we need more debates? But Ronna Romney McDaniel, although she says, oh, yes, I can work with Trump, she doesn't want him there. And so she's trying to do this. But there's an even more nefarious thing going on. That video was like 6 minutes, so I can't repeat the whole thing here. But go watch it, the Ronna Romney McDaniel video that I did earlier today. But here we are, headed to the Supreme Court. They will file an appeal. I am sure that will get filed on Monday. And finally, we're going to see maybe a different outcome than these continued leftist outcomes that are so prevalent right now by these judges like Chutkin and Engeron and others. So the only place where Trump is actually getting a fair trial is by Judge Eileen Cannon down in Florida. Okay. And that's another Jack Smith case, and Jack's actually normal things are happening there. Mark Elias is freaking out, by the way, on Twitter. And if you don't know who Mark Elias is, he's the lawyer of the left. He is the left's election lawfare attorney. Somebody from Indonesia is on. Good to see you on, Ron. Smash that like if you would for me, Ron. Let's get this stream out to a few more people, but. Yeah, I encourage you, please, for the love of all things good, go watch that video I did today with Liz Collin. I know it's a little longer. Just play it as you're going in the car. I don't care. You don't need to see all the video, although some of the video is very compelling on that video. Just let it play in the background. The main thing is you need to hear the interview. You need to hear what Liz experienced as she was making that movie, The Fall of Minneapolis. So, also want to mention too, for those who don't know, I did get a new sponsor. Some of you know this already, and that's Midas Gold Group. You can go to MidasGoldGroup.com. Okay. Tell them that you were sent over by me. Okay. And you can actually get some free silver with a qualifying order. Let them know that you saw it on Lumberjack Logic. But I'm a big believer in holding tangible physical assets, okay? One of the things that you saw with the Russia-Ukraine situation is the United States trying to destroy Russia's currency, and then Russia went to a gold-backed currency. Do you remember that in the news? And now Russia's currency has been doing fine. It did not implode like we... not we as the citizens, but we as the government of the United States and the world global powers wanted to do to it, because they moved to gold-backed currency. And now look at, there's something physical, there's something tangible, there's something real when you get into precious metals. It's why I like them. I'm not going to tell you to go spend your life savings on it. None of that. Okay. That's not my point. I carry a certain amount just because I want to have the ability to trade in those resources. So I buy a lot of junk silver. Do you guys know what junk silver is? Comment in the chat if you know what junk silver is. I'll get back to this other news here real quick, but I'm just curious if you guys know what junk silver is. It's actually old coins that just aren't in great shape. So it could be like old quarters, old silver dollars, whatever. That aren't necessarily in the best of shape. The other way you can buy it is just by buying what they call rounds, okay? But I just like junk silver. It's something that I like. It's just old coins that aren't in great shape, so they're not collector's items per se. It's just that they're 90% silver, so the silver is there. So, and you will always pay more than spot price for silver. If you want to just, get into the trading game, you can always go buy those funds, but I don't trust the funds. See, that's my problem. I just don't trust the system at all. Because there are silver funds you can buy, traded on the, exchanges. I just don't trust them because I don't trust the banks. I just don't. I don't trust the Federal Reserve. Maybe you guys do. I know some people out there do. They think, well, this currency is just good and it's just the way it is. And you're crazy for thinking it's not. But I got junk pennies. Kathleen, that's funny. Actually, copper content in pennies. What's the year on that? 1980 something, I think. If you get, they actually are copper and they're worth more than the penny itself. So that is something you can do. So anyways, but here we are, we're heading to the Supreme Court. I think you're going to see a positive ruling on that. They're going to take away that gag order from Trump. The left always goes on about how they're intimidated, they feel threatened and all of that. But the fact of the matter is, it's like I said before, no one has faced more threats and intimidation than Donald Trump. And you don't see him rolling over and wedding on himself and going crying to the judge and telling him they need to gag everybody. Has Trump ever asked for a gag order? Has he? I mean, where's Trump asking for a gag order? You don't think he's facing threats? Come on. This is ridiculous. And he's being persecuted by the justice system, and a bunch of liberal lunatics are buying into it. And so he's actually facing real persecution set upon him by these deranged people like Jack Smith. Oh my gosh, did somebody just super chat me $49.99? R. Heath, it's not junk, it's constitutional silver. Thank you, R. Heath. I'll call it constitutional silver then for you. It's just commonly referred to as junk silver, but for you, I'm calling it constitutional silver on this show because that was fantastic. Thank you so much for that. No, JL, so the junk silver as it's known is chunks of silver would be called, what do they call that when you have just little pieces of silver? Somebody can help me out on this. Oh, I'm forgetting the word right now off the top of my head. So there's like, there's silver bullion, which is like bars, or gold bullion, that's bars. But there's little chunks of silver. It's called something else, and the name's escaping me. Somebody in the chat will know. But anyways, again, it's MidasGoldGroup.com. And just tell them Lumberjack sent you, and you will get free silver with a qualifying order. I'm not commissioned on that, just so you know. They just it's a straight sponsorship. They pay for advertising, and the other thing is you're not dealing with commissioned salespeople. You're dealing with the owners of the company who are actually all veterans, military veterans. So the other thing that is going on today is Jake Lang. Okay, he was in the Supreme. There was something that went before the Supreme Court today on whether or not they were going to take up Jake Lang's case. So watch that. That's another thing for the Supreme Court to be watching. And Jake Lang, for those who don't know, is a J6er. And he's a guy who did really nothing wrong and has been... He actually saved a guy there that day. That's why, I won't get into the whole story, but the bottom line, you can go check that out. We've had a J6er on the show, and all of this. But if Jake Lang wins his case before the Supreme Court, if the Supreme Court takes it and he wins his case, it will affect all these J6ers. Because what it is just saying that somebody on the grounds there is somehow guilty of this big trespass crime. So it's a big thing. So anyways, I just, wanted to let you know that as well. But that's what's going on. We're finally going to be in front of the Supreme Court because finally a decision was made on a gag order. And that's that. Thanks, JL. I saw that. So that's it. I just wanted to get that to you. Did you guys see, by the way, you're my audience, did you see the Alex Jones interview? Tucker Carlson? Did you guys see Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones? How many saw? I just want to see in the chat. Did you see that? How many? Yes or no? Just comment yes or no. Yeah, I think you can see the current spot prices at Midas as well. Partially, yes. Some of it, yes. You people all saw this? This is awesome. Not yet. No, nope. People, it was maybe, outside of my Liz Collin interview from earlier today that you need to watch. No, seriously, it probably was the best interview I've ever watched. I literally sat and watched it's an hour and 40 minutes. I turned up the speed on X. I turned it to like 1.5 so I could get through it quicker. I might have even done 2 times. Because I don't watch anything at regular speed. Everything, unless it's music, I'll listen to music at regular speed, but everything else I'm watching at 2 times or 1.5 times speed. But it was wild. I never knew that he actually predicted 9/11 before it happened. But the prediction was wild. I mean, down to everything. I mean, the World Trade Towers, planes, everything. So... no, it's not on Rumble. Tucker does his show on X. I mean, if you want to watch the full show, it's only on X unless somebody pirates a copy of it and reposts it. So, I mean, my link for Twitter or X is down below in the description. And if you click my link, you'll be able to see I follow like 200 and some people, and you'll find a bunch of great people to follow. So go over and follow me on X. The link is down below in the description. Okay, so just click that little arrow, open up the description, and then click on my profile, and then go see who I'm following. And you're going to find a lot of great follows. Jennifer Asper is one of them. I just saw her on here. Hippy Dippy Cali Girl, she mods for me. You know, there's just a bunch of them. George or Behizzy is another one. CanCon, and so on. You know, there's problems with every platform. I have a big problem with Twitter. They need to get rid of some of these bots and some of these. I wish they'd just get rid of their. I mean, people are trying to promote porn on there and stuff. I mean, I block so many people, but just use it wisely. Don't fall into that crap. I mean, that stuff ruins people. It ruins their lives. Don't. Just steer so far clear of that porn crap. Just don't give it a second look. I'm serious, man. Just get away from it. It just wrecks people's lives. I mean, I've seen so many people wrecked by that. It's disgusting. And yeah, it's so there. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna let you go. All right. I love y'all. You're awesome. Yeah, Independent Many just shared Firebrand Media. That's George. Really, Matt Cassoni says he watched my Liz interview twice. Thank you so much for watching that. Have you gotten your pillows yet, Matt? MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack. Go get one of those down comforters. There's nothing better than down to sleep under. I love Mike Lindell. I do. I've met him. I've talked with the guy. I love the guy. I mean, He's a wild man. He's a maniac. I should do another video on him because I got a tremendous article on him. The person wasn't really favorable of Mike Lindell, but did do a reasonably fair job of reporting, and his work ethic is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's just incredible. And so I love the guy. And so yeah, go check out mypillow.com/lumberjack, promo code lumberjack. Support the parallel economy. Get your Christmas gifts there. Buy some people some silver. I don't know. I've got other links down below. Black Ovis, right there. I love it. Black Ovis is my favorite place to buy hunting gear. So anyways, they're all down below in the description. So thank you so much. All right. Thank you. You guys really are the best audience on YouTube. And I do mean that. I know I lost some subscribers the other night because I informed people that Hamas was not their friend. And they don't like hearing that. There's so much anti-Semitism out there right now. So much Jew hate. It's disgusting to me. It's absolutely disgusting. You don't have to trust the Israeli government. You don't have to trust our government. But don't sit there and think that the world's problems are due to Jews. It is the most disgusting abomination. And if that's what you think, I'm really not the channel for you. I'm serious. It just disgusts me that people think that way. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. Okay? So I'm fine with people unsubscribing if that's what they want to unsubscribe for. Oh, hey, Dr. Stupid, I didn't know you were a Jew. So, the warmest experience I've ever had eating at a restaurant was in a Jewish restaurant in Baltimore. And I wanted to go to a Jewish deli. I'd always heard that Jewish delis were so great. And so I went, I asked the person at the hotel, I said, I said, I'm here in Baltimore. I said, where's there a Jewish a deli around here? And they told me where one was. And so I went down the street and I went there, and it was like this interesting thing because it was this place where you could order sandwiches on half. That was like kind of just an order at the counter. And then the other part was a full sit down restaurant. And absolutely one of the best experiences of my life. I have never in my life felt such a warmth. Now, I don't agree with a lot of their politics. I mean, I cannot believe that a lot of Jewish people still vote for liberals who want to destroy them. I mean, go watch the Harvard and MIT and Penn State testimonies. The liberal freaks don't like Jews. It's disgusting. Okay. But there's some of that on the right too. Okay. But I was there, and I never felt I felt it in my spirit. Actually, in my spirit, it was crazy just how warm everybody was in that restaurant. There was such a beautiful familiarity and camaraderie in there. It's like nothing I'd ever experienced before. Everybody knew everybody. It was a community, a true community. It was beautiful. So I have no time for the whole Jew hate nonsense. I think it's gross. I really do. I think it's gross. So, R. Heath wanted to say something here. So I saw Super Chat roll around. I have Jewish friends and Jordanian friends, and something about these governments are doing to people is criminal. Yeah. So I love people. I'm on the side of people. But Hamas, I flood the tunnels and wipe them all out. I have no time for them whatsoever. When I've said it before, I'll say it again. I heard it once. It was one of the best things, and that is when Hamas determines that they love their children as much as they hate the Jews, you'll have peace over there. That's when peace will reign. So, all right, I love y'all. Keep fighting the good fight. Peace out.